Matt Dean, and I've been tying for about 30 years now. I do some professional tying, I tie for myself and my friends, and I tie for some charities. When I started, I had a Dick Stewart Universal Fly Tying Guide that came with my kit, and it was a good guide, good kit, but it definitely left me with a lot of questions, which meant I had a fairly steep and long learning curve. With that in mind, I wanted to create a series here for the novice tyer, specifically for the beginner, with 3 criteria in mind. First, I wanted to create a series of flies that are easy to tie. That's first and foremost. There's no point in you investing a lot of time tying flies that are difficult, have a lot of complicated materials or techniques. There's no point in that. It's just going to frustrate you as a beginner. So I wanted these flies to be easy to tie. The second criteria was I also wanted these flies to be valuable. I know I spent a lot of time tying flies that eventually, I realized they weren't really productive patterns, and that was wasted time, not only time, but fishing. So I've got 5 flies that I have confidence in. I know that after 30 years of fishing, they're still in my box. I know that they're in a lot of other people's boxes because they're tested patterns, they work, they're really good. And then the third criteria was, we know that fish don't just feed at the bottom. We know that they don't just feed at the top or in the middle of a water column. They feed throughout. So I wanted to offer you 5 patterns that pretty much help you cover the bottom to the top of just about any water system. So lesson 1 is the San Juan worm. 3 materials, really, really easy to tie, very basic. The fact of the matter is, whether you like it or not, whether you think it's a classy fly or a junk fly that fly fishermen shouldn't be using, and I've met people that are on both sides of that fence, fish eat worms. It's that simple. And I've caught panfish all the way up to steelhead with worms. So we're going to tie a San Juan worm first. Lesson 2, we're going to tie partridge in orange, which is a really good wet fly. Can look like an emerging pattern or a dead adult that's spent after a hatch and just sort of drifting through the water column. And that puts us in the middle to the upper third of the water column. And then lesson 3 and lesson 4 are both nymphs. In lesson 3, we're going to tie a caddis pupa, and then 2, in lesson 4, we're going to tie a pheasant tail or a mayfly nymph. Again, both of those are going to put us in the lower to middle third of the water column. And then the last lesson, lesson 5, we're going to cover the very surface of the uppermost third of the water column with a parachute Adams, the Adams being one of the most famous flies in all of fly fishing. Really versatile, looks like mayflies, tied really small. It can double as a midge very effectively. So I hope you find this series helpful. That's my goal, is that it's helpful, it's valuable, but that it gets you out on the water really quickly with your own flies, your own patterns, so you have that joy and experience quickly rather than struggling for a long time of catching your first fish on a fly that you've tied. So I hope you get out on the water quickly with some of these patterns and catch your first fish and have that experience, because it really adds a whole nother dimension to your day. So I hope this is helpful. I hope it's valuable and enjoyable. If you have questions or comments, please shoot them to me, and I will do my best to get back to you as quickly as possible with something that I hope is a valuable reply and informative. So I will look forward to seeing you in lesson 1, the San Juan worm. The series is called The Basics. Look for 5 videos. Thanks so much.